Good morning. Welcome to Inside Talk Show. Inside Talk Show, it's an inside job. I'm Carla Elizondo. Happy Tuesday. We are finishing up the reading of Chapter 4, Doing and Knowing, from James Allen's book, Out from the Heart. We've been talking a lot about how, just like we study an outside trade, we learn a new skill. We learn how to wield a new tool. We start from kind of an easy task, say mathematics. He uses the mathematics, martial arts. We start with a simple task or a simple concept, and then we build from there. We can't be expected to walk in day one and be a black belt. We can't expect to walk into the math class day one and be a calculus genius. It's incremental steps. And we must apply that to our inner world, to studying ourselves, to knowing ourselves, being patient with ourselves. We have to know who we are. He says, virtue can only be known by doing, and the knowledge of truth can only be arrived at by perfecting oneself in the practice of virtue. To be complete in the practice and acquisition of virtue is to be complete in the truth, in the knowledge of truth. Truth can only be arrived at by daily and hourly doing the lessons of virtue, beginning with the simplest and passing on to the more difficult. A child patiently and obediently learns his lessons at school by constantly practicing, ever exerting himself, until all failures and difficulties are surmounted. Likewise does the child of truth, undaunted by failure and made stronger by difficulties, apply himself to right doing in thought and action. As he succeeds in acquiring virtue, his mind unfolds itself to the knowledge of truth, and it is a knowledge in which he can securely rest. Whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that you are trying to achieve in your life, you must dedicate daily and hourly concentration, practice. What are you doing today that is getting you closer to a dream or a goal that you want, to realize a certain lifestyle? We all deserve whatever it is that we get, in the sense of, if you want something, you can have it. The only thing standing in the way is your belief that you can have it. Nothing will show up in your life, nothing will show up in my life unless I believe I can have it. Napoleon Hill and Think and Grow Rich. There's so many great books. They're all saying the same thing. If we can conceive it, if we can dream it, we can do it, or else we wouldn't be able to dream it. Where do your desires come from? The way that I have learned, and the way that resonates with me, is that there is a higher power. There is an intelligence, a force that beats my heart, that digests my food. It's an intelligence beyond my capabilities that I'm not aware of. I call it God, higher power. It's my higher power. It's the thing about me that is infinitely intelligent. And it's that I seek to become more aware of, to study, to know more. And that's me, within me. In my search for myself, I feel closer to God. In my search for God, I feel closer to myself. Whatever it is that we want, the truth, the virtue, the good life, the higher life that we're searching for, is found within. It's found within, and James Allen is reminding us it takes daily, hourly lessons. And it can look different for everybody. But if you truly, truly want to live free, peaceful, We must just study ourselves. The only reason why we're afraid and fear, worry, doubt, anxiety is because we're in ignorance of what we are, who we are. Know thyself, and you shall know the universe and all the gods. They've been saying, all the great leaders, the teachers, the masters, the mystics, know yourself, study yourself. The extent that you know yourself will be the extent of your life experience. If you feel small and scared and contracted and fearful, it's because you're remaining in the dark, so to speak. You're not learning, you're not growing about yourself to learn about yourself. But when you feel expansive, in faith, hopeful, growing, a little, afraid of like the unknown in the sense, excitement, you're moving forward, you're understanding more. Think of any task that you first started and you were afraid because you didn't know. You were afraid, you were scared, you were insecure, you were not sure of yourself. It was only a matter of time through practice, through learning, through understanding, through gaining knowledge that you became confident and competent. There's a lot of talk about imposter syndrome. I heard a really great definition that imposter syndrome is simply our confidence has not yet reached our competence, because we're competent. For example, if you go into school for a certain trade and you get your first job, you feel like, oh my gosh, I feel like a fraud. I feel like I'm imposter syndrome. But you have all the study and knowledge and the certificates to, do the job. But your confidence has not yet matched and reached your competence. So your competence, you're competent, but your confidence has not yet reached your competence. It's when our confidence matches our competence that we no longer feel like a fraud, that we no longer feel that sense of imposter. But that's certain careers or tools or jobs or skills or jobs. What about your life? Do you feel like an imposter? Do you feel like you have to fake it till you make it? Do you feel like you're inadequate? Do you feel like you have imposter syndrome in your own life? Do you feel like you're just not quite there? There's a version of you that you know is there, but you're not there. You know you're competent, you know you're capable, but your confidence has to match that competence, and then magic will happen. How do you know you have the skills, you know you have the desire, you know you have the ability, the capability, the potential, you know you do. How does your confidence reach that? It's through study. It's through understanding who you are, what you are working with. You are not a body. You are an infinite, limitless, powerful, energetic being. That is the truth. How do you study? How do you learn? What programs are you in? Who are you talking to? What kind of conversations are you having? Do you feel expansive that you're growing and getting closer and always achieving something new and always growing and getting better and better? Or do you feel like you're dying and falling back and shrinking? I hope you enjoy that. I love James Allen. I love all of his lessons. I love his books. And we will continue tomorrow with chapter 5. Have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow.